speaking of breaking bounds, Jesse, some huge news dropped.
Yes.
Was it Tuesday? Like, talk about wow, like mind-blowing, almost $70 billion deal. I think they're toting it as like the largest video game acquisition, and that is Microsoft flexing their pocketbooks, their money,
Yeah.
their influence to acquire Activision and Blizzard. And here in our little graphic, we have got showing you basically what does this mean? What is Xbox, aka Microsoft, getting by picking up Activision? Well, they're getting Overwatch, and Overwatch 2 is in production, Diablo, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, Candy Crush, which is just a juggernaut, and StarCraft. These games will all become first party Microsoft games, and this is absolutely huge. The internet is just torn asunder with this. Lots of speculation, lots of talk. But let's break it down a little bit. We saw Microsoft do something similar, although the dollar amount was not nearly in this juggernaut colossal amount when they acquired Bethesda and ZeniMax, which brought to them Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Doom, like all of these IPs. And it became like, yeah, Microsoft's, branch of studios just got super legit. Now, an interesting fact was that Bethesda had some deals to put exclusive content and exclusive games on PlayStation, PS5, and Microsoft, of course, they honored that deal. A lot of people are thinking going forward, they're going to honor that same type of deal. I think anything that has already been signed on the dotted line, that's going to go over. You're still going to get those games on the PlayStation. However, just like the Bethesda deal with that new game, their new franchise, Starfield, and any of the Elder Scroll games going forward, I think it's going to be an Xbox and PC exclusive. It's going to be Game Pass. So existing Call of Duties, existing Diablos, existing, everything else is going to still function if you're a PlayStation player. But I would not hold your breath that you're going to be getting all that new stuff unless there's a deal reached to put Game Pass on other platforms, namely the PlayStation. Maybe there's talks a bit about it going on to the Switch. But Game Pass is just that. You can play. I'm a subscriber of Game Pass, and I can play it on my phone. I can play it on my tablet. I have it on my PC, on my laptop. So that could be the future, and Microsoft is basically paving that future. So huge acquisition, huge deal. It's not going to go through until, what did they say, Jesse, 2023? So they've obviously got to iron some stuff out. But wow, wasn't expecting it. I think maybe this is probably because Activision has had a rough couple of years. They've been dragged through just all kinds of stuff. And they, PR nightmare for the company. Stock drop. I don't know if Microsoft, bought it on the cheap, 70 billion cheap, but I do believe in Phil Spencer's vision. I think he wants to go up and clean up that house because Activision is responsible for so many games that people enjoy and still play. You cannot have that type of company running with that bad press and kind of that toxic environment. So I believe they will clean up that ship and stuff, and also continue to make amazing games.
Yeah, I think they said earlier today, Microsoft did a press release. They said they're going to honor all Call of Duty agreements that have been signed already, but going forward, the future is unknown.
Yep.
So do you think this is the end of the PlayStation? Do you think it's the end of Sony? What do you think is going to happen?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's the end of it, but I think this is a nail in that coffin. This is a big move. It's what it does is it basically makes Game Pass and an Xbox console or a PC way more attractive if somebody is already a PlayStation user. Myself, I'm a gamer through and through. I'll buy consoles for exclusives, but there's some people that, ride or die with one console. But if now all of a sudden, if you're a Call of Duty player and you won't be able to play the newest Call of Duty, how do you not either get a PC or be like, hey, how can I not just buy an Xbox and then get all of these other games? The catalog for Game Pass is super impressive, and they've done a bang up job. Like, I wasn't a believer in it. I'm a physical media guy, but I have Game Pass because there's like, you get to try so many different games that you wouldn't necessarily play and stuff like that. It's a really cool service, and I don't even use probably a tenth of it, to be honest with you, but it's phenomenal. So I don't think Sony's gonna die. I think they're still the second largest video game company even after this merger. But what I think will happen is they have to be able to carve out a new audience. Like, I think one of PlayStation's biggest, what they like to puff out their chest about is that they've got all these great exclusive games, and you buy your PlayStation for exclusives. The problem is those exclusives are all very similar, and I don't know a single gamer that literally just buys all their exclusives. People will pick and choose. If you're into like the Uncharted and you're into the like the Horizon and the God of War, you might not be the person picking up Gran Turismo. So unlike Nintendo, where most Nintendo fans will buy every one of those Nintendos. They're in for the Zelda, the Mario, they're in for, Metroid, all of that stuff when it comes out. I think Sony's going to have to breed that into its consumer base, or they're going to have to try and pick up a merger on their own to keep people, there. And I think it'll just be a win for Microsoft because that library now is so huge. Again, like how can you, I know you're a PlayStation guy, but how can you look past potentially saying, hey, let me go and buy this Xbox and just get Game Pass?
Yeah,
and like
that's true.
Like, that's all those Halos that you might not have played since your 360 days, and now all of Doom and all these RPGs and stuff like that. It's just too sweet a deal to pass up. So I think Sony's, I don't want to say use the word retaliate, but they have to do something. They have to announce something or bring something to the table, because this is a power play. Who, I would never have predicted it, but wow, like to me, I look at Activision, I'm like Activision's like EA. Who can buy EA? They're a juggernaut. They make so much money, and stuff like that. Why would but wow, I'm kind of excited to see what that future holds and stuff. But yeah, just a crazy day.
I'm gonna predict the future a little bit here and say I think Apple is going to go ahead and buy Sony and or the PlayStation rights and just start pumping out the consoles through the Apple, because they have got a loyal clientele already, right? Everybody buys the new iPhones, the new iPads. I think for Sony, or sorry, not Sony, the PlayStation to survive, they're going to have a backer like Apple, maybe even Disney, if Disney wants to get into the console wars. But right now, I would say that the console wars that have been going on for 20 years now, it looks like Microsoft is going to take the win.
Yeah, well, they've been in second place for so long, and they're just clawing their way up. So, but I do really like that idea that you're saying about Apple. It's not that far out there, but you take those customers that are brand loyal to Apple, and then all of a sudden, cross them with the PlayStation. You can literally breed a whole new, group of diehard fans. So that could be, super, super cool. So yeah, interesting time to be a gamer, and the next couple of years are just going to be, monumental for gaming. So yeah, let's follow that story as it progresses, and we'll see if Jesse's prediction comes true. As always, thank you for tuning in, and continue to check us out, Heroes World online. That is where you're going to find us, all kinds of content. And remember, please, if you can, like, subscribe, tell a friend, help us spread the word.